that this is where our relationship fractured because I didn't have balloons or I didn't get enough hugs or praise or, you guys didn't give me enough head in between every episode we did, shows you how little you actually listened to or cared about me in the first place. I could not have been more open or transparent regarding my, concerns, whether it was over an email, text, or phone calls. Obviously, I don't have the phone calls on record, but I have plenty of emails, and they know exactly the email in particular that I'm referring to. Actually, they might not, because they never fucking read it. And the text messages as well. I poured my heart out. And it wasn't just emotionally. It was also backed up with facts and support that also supported the things that I was saying, which we can get into in a bit. Like, I don't get how. I mean, I get it because I know these guys, and they do this with every relationship that they have. Like, Rory, like, you're fumbling through a BetterHelp script when it's clear your therapy is just about as effective as Maul's diet.
I am Savvy Mike in this. I am Savvy Mike TV, and while we have Rory and most of Rory, he's up there somewhere, but we got Maul over there. So while we have Rory and Maul on the screen, they aren't talking. No, this is Julian, their ex-producer. He basically went off on Rory. He goes off on them and exposes them for a toxic work environment. Now, while I'm inclined to want to believe all of this, I doubt I will. But I'll save my 2 cents for later. Let's listen.
I've turned to therapy, which I've been extremely open about on this show. I've talked through the hellish year that I've had with my therapist, and also to an extent here. I've committed to working on myself more than I ever have in my life. In the past, it was easy for me to work on myself purely physically. It's like, okay, well, I'm in a bad space. Let me just throw on 15, 20 pounds of muscle and just look better. Because if I look better, it presents that I'm feeling great. But we all know that that's not how life works. The physicality of it is such a small piece of the real work that needs to be done on your mental state. We don't need to embellish that. Then here comes Rory on this. I guess this is a Patreon clip. This was sent to me. This Patreon episode, of course, yeah, tuck it behind the paywall. And this is what I love. Like, the fact that you've convinced yourself that this is where our relationship fractured because I didn't have balloons or I didn't get enough hugs or praise or, you guys didn't give me enough head in between every episode we did, shows you how little you actually listened to or cared about me in the first place. I could not have been more open or transparent regarding my, concerns, whether it was over an email, text, or phone calls. Obviously, I don't have the phone calls on record, but I have plenty of emails, and they know exactly the email in particular that I'm referring to. Actually, they might not, because they never fucking read it. And the text messages as well. I poured my heart out. And it wasn't just emotionally. It was also backed up with facts and support that also supported the things that I was saying, which we can get into in a bit. Like, I don't get how. I mean, I get it because I know these guys, and they do this with every relationship that they have. Like, Rory, like, you're fumbling through a BetterHelp script when it's clear your therapy is just about as effective as Maul's diet. You guys are just fucking convincing yourself of things that couldn't be further from the truth. And I don't feel like it's my job to set the two of you straight. It's not. I understand how people like you both work. You're not going to be convinced of something that you're not. You're going to believe the truth that you want to believe, because at one point I was the person that Rory in particular felt comfortable confiding in with his fractured relationships with everybody on our team and a few other people in the industry. And he confided in me quite often. And I'm not going to spill tea on all those things, and nor do I plan on doing that. But I've seen how you've spun things to fit you as the good guy in every situation, where in some cases that may not be the case. And then it was a matter of, it was my time. It was my time to be the fall guy. It's my time to be the bad guy. And I just rewatched the Batman series, and there's a great quote. and I believe it was A Dark Knight. I binged them. I watched the 3 of them. A Dark Knight Rises. I believe it was. I watched the 3 of them in a row. They say you can only meet people as deeply as they have met themselves. And when I started on this show, I had spent so much time committing to a company, committing to guys that weren't ever really committed to the company or the work at hand themselves. Like, I know how this is going to go. I know that I know the comments are going to turn on me. I'm going to be the villain. It's going to be, you know, fuck Julian. Can you believe what he said about our guys? I get it. I've always been a guest. They brought me in. They put me on. How dare he? I'm not speaking from a place of, I'm not like guessing here. I lived it. And there's others there that have lived it. I'm not trying to bring Damaris or drag her through the mud with this shit. But if anyone can relate to anything that I'm saying, it's Damaris, because we bonded deeply over this stuff. We could even start by how Damaris and I were met. The impetus of our relationship was awful. And that wasn't on our doing. That was because of the two of them. Basically, I was doing social media at the time. She was the producer. They were severely under-delivering to SiriusXM, like less than half of what they were supposed to be doing, numbers-wise. So in I come from just socials to now producing as well. And it wasn't a matter of like a transfer of power. It was like one day Rory asked me to come over to record, and I just sat in Damaris's seat. And she didn't know what was happening, nor did I, and that was where we met. And not only did they do that, but they cut Damaris's pay as well. So why the fuck would Damaris have anything nice to say about me when I just waltzed into the studio, not only took your seat, but if you're doing the math, which I don't blame her at the time, she's also being like, well, he's also not only taking my seat and my role on the show, but he drained my pockets too. So let's just start there. I mean, that was my introduction to this whole thing. It's like, I'm not that, these aren't, Damaris and I did work for years to dig ourselves out of a hole and pitted against each other to become not only coworkers, but good friends. I still speak to Damaris. I love Damaris. We put in the work to do that. We cared enough about what we were building and found commonality and all the other bullshit that came with working here and bonded together to survive this whole fucking run that we went on. And now I'm looking at the comments of this video. It's like you guys turned into the people, turned into the people you turned your backs against. Here's a great one. I mean, I can respond right to this. If he was hired as a producer solely and then transitioned into an on-air personality, I'm not mad at him for wanting more money. In short, I mean, there's a lot that went into me leaving, but that was the main one. And I have an email, and they know the email that I'm referring to because they just chose to ignore it. They never read it. But this email, I got responses to it. I sent it in February. We got around to it in August. So, I felt loved and appreciated along that 6 months. That was the reason why I put up with a lot of shit, but that was the ultimate slap in the face. And that's true. These comments, everyone spends time shitting on people that imagine listening to a podcast and then commenting about podcasts. Oh, these fucking losers. These people care, and they care about us, and they care about our lives, and they can also read between the lines and understand what the fuck is actually going on. A lot of these comments are pretty fucking spot on. My role, if you're a listener, you can even track it, changed dramatically from when I first came onto the show to where it ended up. I'm not going to bring in numbers. We can go there if we want. I don't plan on it. When I had my New Year's Eve story, brought in a significant spike to the Patreon, none of which I was saw any more money of, which again wasn't in my contract. I wasn't cut or owed any bit of Patreon at that time, nor did I ask for any money from that at that time. I was just very happy to contribute to the show in a very big way. Fast forward to the bare minimum shirt thing. I was very much bullish on making that a moment. That led to a huge bump in revenue that ended up going towards like the renovations for the actual studio that we closed on at the time. There are titular moments that I led to. We don't even need to mention the Young Thug clip. That's the biggest viral clip that's come out of the show, period.
And that's understandable when Julian starts to break all the numbers and the facts down and everything like that. But when it comes down to it, you wouldn't have those moments, Julian, unfortunately, if you weren't on that podcast, if you weren't on that platform. And that is the ground that Rory and Maul have to stand on and can continue to stand on. Now, why would they cut Damaris's pay? Probably because, in a sense, they were demoting her, but she probably re-earned her promotion in the amazing work that she puts in. So, who know? Who I don't know. I don't know how Rory and Maul are running their business over there. I really don't. But at the same time, I wouldn't call that toxic. I wouldn't call that like, oh, you're just creating a crazy work environment. No, it just sounds like, and that's the thing too. You gotta get out the comments, buddy. You got to stop. No, your job and mine, because I'm saying this for myself as well. Because if anything, we're kind of in the same spot. I mean, you more so had a platform to springboard off of. Me, I'm working from the ground up. But at the same time, clout wise, nobody cares what we have to say. So we're in the same boat, Julian. And at the end of the day, I want to give you some advice from us being in the same boat, right? Number one, get out of the fucking comments. We cannot read comments. We just can't. We can't do it. If y'all ever seen me like a comment or read one or reply to one, as of now, like as of at least these past 3-4 months, is because I was rewatching the video on my YouTube and I just saw your comment and it was there, and that's my problem. I see it and I go, what the fuck is there? What are they talking about? what are they saying right now? What is this bullshit that they're fucking speaking at the moment? You sound stupid. That's my first thought. And so that's why I gotta stay out of the comments. Because at the end of the day, while there have been some positive comments over the time, and I try to make sure I acknowledge those at least, all the other ones, bruh, at this point, I can give two fucks how anybody feels. Because nobody's in my position. Right? And this video is about Julian. Well, I'm going to make it about me for a quick second. Quick fucking second. At a certain point, there was a time where it was nothing but a clip. You got the clip, in my opinion. If you've been subscribing to me for a long time, following me for a while, that's how I presented the content, right? And as time went on, I finally got a setup, finally got some shit that I could do it this way. But as I was doing it that way, I got a copyright from Casanat. I got called a thief by Joe Budden. Like, niggas did not. And then on top of that, you had those fans in my comments, the Joe Vengers, the Casanat fans, whoever else, they were in my comments pissed off that I was reposting the clip on YouTube. Like, mad as hell. So I'm having to deal with that, right? So, of course, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, we cannot do YouTube how we used to do YouTube. Because at the end of the day, regardless of it, niggas want to have all of a sudden a new opinion and moral standing on things. This is what YouTube was. This is where you came for the clips. Now it's on Twitter because you can't do that bullshit on Twitter. You can't send a nigga a copyright strike, and you can't cease and desist a nigga on Twitter. Like, you can't do none of that. So now, look, that's what I'm saying. It was nigga in my comments talking about you could at least link the video you reacted to. I'm like, bro, just go to Twitter. It's all there. It's all there. And Elon then got it to where it's like Google. All you gotta do is type the shit you looking for in. You might have to do a little bit more digging. You might have to get a little bit more specific, but it'll definitely pop up. Something around what you're trying to find will pop up for sure. So when it came down to it, I couldn't continue I had to, of course, pivot in a way where I could do these videos while also not infringing on nobody's copyright, in their opinion, or at least in the opinion of the court of the law. So yes, there's a lot of cuts now. It's a lot of me pausing the video and talking. Like, Do I want to? Am I doing that on purpose? Maybe. I mean, might have opinions and I want to share them, but at the same time, that's not what I want. I just wanted to give y'all what y'all wanted. Y'all just wanted the clip, and that's all I provided at first. Now, and that's what I'm saying. The quote unquote, y'all want to call them higher ups, told me that's the wrong. I shouldn't do it that way. Don't do it that way. Do it another way. And so that's what I'm saying. Now I'm dealing with two of one heads. I got the fans telling me, "Hey, Michael, shut the fuck up and just post the clip." And I got the niggas I'm posting the clip of going, "Hey, Michael, do more. What the fuck? Stop posting my clip." Like, what do you want from me? Yeah, I made this about me. I'm sorry, Julian. This is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And I am Savvy Mike. And regardless of it, yeah, bro, just stay consistent. Keep doing what you're doing. It is cool to talk about the drama. I'm not telling you not to, because it's going to always help your numbers. But at the same time, if you understand in yourself, hey, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to talk about the drama. Don't look at the comments, because the comments are going to go, why are you still talking about this? But that's their job. That's what they're supposed to. Like, at the end of the day, just look at it like this. It's just helping push you into the algorithm. The more people comment, the more people like, even dislike. It don't matter. You're getting pushed into the algorithm, buddy. So just stay fast. Do what you got to do. Keep your head down to whatever finish line you got. I don't think Julian's still listening to this. Once I got into all this shit about me, he probably clicked off. I'm not mad at it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.